Well, it has been a while since I've done a Rhino video, and this is quite a based Rhino video, because it is just the dumbest, simplest way to play a Warframe, but also have a lot of benefits to yourself and your teammates. What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with a Rhino build. Last time I did a Rhino build, it was all about building up Iron Skin and all the little intricate details that you had to go through to get the most amount of Iron Skin. And I shown that you can go from 4 to 6 million Iron Skin. However, this Rhino build is a bit different. This is a Rhino build that is just for anybody or everybody that just wants to play a Warframe that can have them deal a lot of damage with their weapons, but also be tanky enough. But Nightmare, can't you just do that with Revenant? Yes, of course, you can actually just do that with Revenant. And I would argue that Revenant is just the type of Warframe that can be tanky as hell and very brain dead to play. However, this one offers just a bit more flexibility when it comes to the versatility. The one thing is that Roar is just better on Rhino because it's originally from him, and it gives you a larger damage increase. For those who don't know what Roar does, believe it or not, there's quite a few people that don't know, so let me break it down for you, minus that horrible description. Roar is a universal damage multiplier, meaning it affects everything from your Warframe abilities and weapons, and even increases the damage of your allies, and even NPCs who are coded as your allies. And the damage multiplier that is given to the weapons is a faction damage multiplier, meaning those nasty Bane mods that you don't want to equip on your weapons, where it takes too much effort to just click and drag a new mod. Yes, it's coded the same, and if you were to have a faction mod and Roar, they'll be additive to each other. So it is different from Eclipse, and that's why if you want a bigger weapon damage buff, you would go for Eclipse. So what is the thing that I've done to this Rhino build that makes it so brain dead and easy to play? One, I gave it Nourish. Yes, this is the most used Helminth ability in the game right now. Nourish is fairly simple, gives you viral elemental damage on your weapons, gives you that energy multiplier, meaning I can go with a negative efficiency build on my Rhino, which is pretty damn good, but also I can spam abilities. And it has that viral retaliation, where when enemies deal damage to you, you just ejaculate all over their faces with viral. It's nasty, but it allows you to do more damage. Aside from blowing your load on enemies' faces, Rhino has decent survivability with his Iron Skin. Iron Skin gives you a layer of defenses, and this layer of defenses is Overguard. It used to be different back in the days, but now it's Overguard. This Overguard is another health layer on top of your shields. This grants you status immunity and of course eats up damage done to you. And Iron Skin has the annoying thing where you need an augment just to recast it. But then I said, what if I just don't want to use that augment and I can utilize my CC, which is coming from Stomp, but also refresh my Iron Skin? And that's where we have Reinforcing Stomp. It's Rhino's 4th ability augment. Stomp is a pretty decent crowd control ability. It helps you keep enemies off the point and completely stop enemies from attacking you. And it's really good when you want to get headshots. This ability is not great at dealing damage, but it's just great for crowd control. So I paired that crowd control with getting my Iron Skin back. Now let's have a look at the Archon shards. They look quite weird. Yes, I have 2 blue shards, which you don't really need, but I just had them there for an old Rhino build. These just give me some armor. Armor benefits Iron Skin because Iron Skin scales off your strength, armor, and the damage done to you. And then we have 2 green shards here, which increases my corrosive stacks. Increasing my corrosive stacks to 14 allows me to fully strip armor. So this means it's pretty good against high-level enemy units when you get to that point. And finally, just a duration shard. I just want a little bit more duration with Nourish and Roar. Just to show you how brain dead and strong this loadout is, let's go into Steel Path and demonstrate how everything works step by step. Alright, here we are in Steel Path to show you the juice that this Rhino can dish out. I am using Madarai as my focus school, so I will start off 2 Void Slings every time I want to recast my Roar or my Nourish. And since I don't have any casting speed present on my build, I will depend on my focus school to give me that casting speed. Otherwise, you can always change those 2 blue shards into casting speed shards. Okay, let's get growing power real quick. There we go. 2 Void Slings, Nourish, or the 2nd ability, let them deal some damage, and cast my Roar. Yeah. And this is it. Of course, you already know what the Torrent does. It shreds, and it's even better now since we have it modded for corrosive while we have viral and at the same time with the green shards. And the best part is that I don't even have any faction damage mods on my weapons because my roar multiplier is just so huge. I thought it would be a waste to mod it for faction damage if I'm doing low tier content like this. And notice how I'm at 50% of my iron skin. I can just stomp and we're chilling. If you want some melee action, I do have the Zorus with melee influence. I want to refresh my iron skin, just stomp. And the best part is that Nautilus is a grouping tool. So we have grouping with this Rhino build, improving our other abilities that require enemies to be slightly closer to us. All right, and now we have an Acolyte spawning. Even if it's violence, I just want to show you how crazy good this is. There you go. She's dead. Where's this other guy? And since we have Matarai, boom. How did that guy get on the other side? What the hell? What the hell? That's cheating. And Rhino does offer another thing that Revenant doesn't, and that's team play. Unfortunately, he does not have an augment to give everybody Mesmer skin or Iron skin, but he does have something that Revenant can't do within a team. Of course, give them Roar and Nourish at the same time. And the best part is you can also take this build into Elite Sanctuary Onslaught and help out your teammates. Crowd control everything while also buffing everyone else in the team with your Roar. And if they need help with energy, you have Nourish. I'm going to do 2 Void Slings for Matarai. Proc Growing Power, Nourish, Roar. Everybody got 233%. And this is not the full Roar yet. You can see on the top right, I am using Molt Augmented. So this is not a fully buffed Roar just yet. It can get pretty high. Okay, here we are back in the Orbiter. I'm going to do a quick rundown. Nourish, being our Helminth ability, just makes everything a lot more flexible to do with this type of Archon shard setup. And it's also a sad moment for Grendel, as Nourish is just better on any other Warframe than the Warframe it came from. And Roar being my universal damage multiplier and my faction multiplier, so I don't have to mod for faction damage on my weapons. Again, the Archon shards are based on what I do and how I play, so you can change them to whatever you want, because this build literally doesn't need them. So let's take a look at that Rhino build. In the aura, I have Growing Power for that 25% bonus strength when you proc a status effect. Easily done with any of your weapons. Growing Power, Molt Augmented, and Matarai Slig Strength are my 3 conditional strength increases, while my modded increases are coming from Power Drift, Transient Fortitude, Blind Rage, and the 2 Umbral mods. Reminder, strength, armor, and damage dealt to you will affect how much iron skin you get. Reinforced Stomp is my Stomp augment so that I can refresh iron skin, and it's the pretty good crowd control. Range benefits Nourish, Roar, and Stomp. Yes, Nourish has that viral retaliation, so enemies hit you, you splooge back at them. The range with Roar helps me buff my allies, so it's a nice support utility that you can have. And finally, range with Stomp is for that juicy, massive area of effect, as I get 36 meters of an increase. Prime Flow here is mandatory, otherwise you can just replace the Archon shards with full blue Tauforge. He needs it, he doesn't have a great energy pool. And finally, Arcane Avenger for that flat crit chance increase when you take damage. This can be easily done even if you have iron skin. Otherwise, you can go for Molt Efficiency for even more duration, if you're not worried about the crit chance increase. And for the weapons, I am using the Torrid Incarnate. We have that one, this one, and this one. Pretty simple. Taking a look at the builds, I replaced my faction damage mod with more crit chance. For my base damage, I do have primary Deadhead. Donk heads get a headshot damage multiplier and base damage. It would be even better to run Vile Acceleration, but unfortunately I cannot fit it here. Galvanized Aptitude for even more damage, Bladed Rounds for some crit damage, crit chance, crit damage. Very simple build. All you need is an electric mod to get corrosive, since the weapon is innate toxin. For the Zorus, pretty simple. Make sure you have melee influence, and this is it. This is all you need to do. So fairly simple. You just throw out your Zorus and things die. Yeah, that was just a one shot. All right, and lastly, taking a look at Nautilus, aka Cordon. Why is he called Cordon? Because that's all he's good for, to proc Cordon. And of course, I'm going to be running Tenacious Bond, which is easily buffed thanks to the Volcox or the Volcock, whichever one you want. Just have a crit chance mod and you're good to go. And yeah, you also get the benefit of having the Vigilante mods. even better. Alright folks, this is the GigaChad Rhino, the universal build per se that you can just take wherever you want. And it's also a very good one against Archon hunts if you want. Anyway folks, that has been it for me. I do hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace. Bye-bye now.